You've made it, Alabama fans. You have made it. It is Friday, the end of the week, and you are locked and loaded onto the best form of conversation when you talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide. This right here is, in my own words, the podcast. Yours truly, Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, bringing this to you from Tuscaloosa via YouTube. The show bigger than me, more than me. I got my man John Ivory, call him JP, but the man John Ivory making sure we are on that up and up in terms of the production of the show. And as always, we encourage you, the Crimson Tide football fan, to drop a like on the show, give a thumbs up on the show, and hit that subscribe button. What that tells us here at TDA is for us to continue to provide you with the best news, notes, information, and coverage on your Alabama Crimson Tide. It is because of you, the Crimson Tide fan, that we are over 8,000. That is correct. Over 8,000 subscribers strong on YouTube. So continue to help us grow the network, channel, and the brand. Got a lot of things to get to on today's edition of the show. After we update you guys on some things, we'll get into a fun topic here. The best live moment you had. The best live moment you had in seeing an Alabama football game. You got a chance to catch this Alabama football game live in action. Your best live moment. We'll start off with that. From there, we will sit down with my man Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine in studios. We'll get a chance to talk to him about the 2021 class, how COVID-19 has affected some things, and who are still some guys that Alabama is very, very high on in this recruitment cycle. And then last but not least, we will dive into the perfect fits in terms of the guys I see going in the first round of the NFL draft next month for the Alabama Crimson Tide. This, along with your phone calls, tweets, text messages, thoughts, questions, and concerns on the show. But we'll start things off here with, we have Miss Terrian Anderson, the mother of Will Anderson, Alabama five-star linebacker, freshman in the program. She shared some information, some news on social media on last night on the grandparents of Will Anderson out of Georgia contracted the COVID-19, the coronavirus. As of right now, Anderson's grandfather is in ICU. The grandmother, she's okay, she's stable, but the grandfather is in ICU. So right now, our thoughts, our prayers of healing, our thoughts and prayers and warm and positive wishes go out to the Anderson family, Miss Anderson and Will, as his grandparents fighting this coronavirus. But that just comes from Miss Anderson. Along with that, big news in terms of Alabama men's basketball, as Nate Oates got his guy. A huge verbal commitment from one Joshua Primo, the 6'6" combo guard out of Canada, plays ball at Royal Crown High School. This is someone who can shoot the mid-range game, attack the basket. He's a very exceptional three-point shooter and a guy that gives tremendous effort on the defensive side in terms of basketball. A guy this is the type of guy that Coach Oates wants, that can shoot, that can pass, that has handles, but that can also give an elite defensive effort. So getting the five-star combo guard Joshua Primo out of Canada, big get there for Alabama for the 2020 class, as the duo of Kyra Lewis and John Petty have both entered their names into the NBA draft hat. Now, John Petty could possibly come back, but even if he chooses not to, getting Joshua Primo, big deal there for Alabama. And then also, according to Brandon Marcello of 247 Sports, who covers the Auburn Tigers, the NCAA has decided to lift the virtual ban off of the college football coaches and players in terms of communication. These coaches will now be able to have the team meetings with these players or one-on-one meetings with particular players, whether this is on apps like FaceTime or any type of virtual app out there. coaches will have that communication with their players to get some instructions done. So this is a positive sign here as the NCAA lifting the virtual ban off of college football. But we dive into now the first topic of conversation, a fun one to start the show, your favorite live event. What was your favorite Alabama football game that you got a chance to witness live and in person? And before I get into my thoughts here, we're going to go to social media where you guys have really shared some of your favorite thoughts. And we'll start this off with Evan's dad on Twitter. Evan's dad on Twitter writes in, the 1992 SEC Championship game, Bama over Florida, the pick six by Antonio Langham. Evan's dad was at that game at Legion Field. Courtney writes in with Rocky Block, going back to 2009. Terrence Cody blocking those 2 field goals against Tennessee. Ford Waters writes in, easy. The best game was Alabama-Georgia 2012 SEC Championship. He also liked the Alabama-Clemson semifinal matchup from 2017. So Ford Waters had 2 there. Rama Jamma writes in, either the Bama-Tennessee game where Terrence Cody blocked the field goal or the Alabama comeback victory against Georgia in this past SEC Championship game, or the 2018 SEC title game. So Rama Jammer had 2 as well. John Wallace writes in with, well, if Colt McCoy didn't get hurt, it would have been the Rose Bowl instead of the national championship. Well, I guess John Wallace, not sure if he's a Texas fan or an Alabama fan, but it is what it is. And Greg wrote in the 1985 Iron Bowl, the one where Van Tiffen made the big field goal, 52-yard field goal, heard across the world, giving Alabama the 25-23 win over Auburn, the 85 Iron Bowl. But favorite moment in terms of a game you saw live and in action, what was your favorite live game when you talk about Alabama football? So definitely want to continue to encourage you guys, the fans, to write in your thoughts, write in what was the favorite live game that you got a chance to see. For me, I had to wrestle with 2 different thoughts internally. I've been able to cover this team extensively for Touchdown Alabama magazine since 2011. And while I have had my fair joys of covering football, the 2 games I had to battle with were the 2014 Southeastern Conference title game between Alabama and Missouri, a game in which Blake Sims had a magnificent performance. I believe it was that game where he completed 23 of 25 pass attempts and has the highest completion percentage in the SEC Championship game history. That's at 88%. And when Alabama won the game 42-14, he brought his daughter on the field with him, brought Kyla on the field. And I remember the iconic interview that one Allie Forrest of CBS did after talking to Blake Sims. She bends down, hands the microphone to Kyla, and asked her, how did Daddy do? And Kyla, with a giant smile on her face, said, Daddy did good. That was awesome, getting a chance to see that firsthand. But for me, my best live game for Crimson Tide football would be the 2016 College Football Playoff National Championship game off the 2015 season. The first matchup between Alabama and Clemson in Arizona. And I'll be honest with you right now, guys. I did not think I was going to go to that game. Did not think I was going. Did not have the money. Did not have the funds at the time. And I'm the type of dude that I don't like asking for things. I mean, I understand it's good to ask for help, but to me, I never liked asking for things just due to you're always hit with that you owe me, and I don't like to owe people anything. So in my mind, I was not going to ask. So, and I had already kind of told, my superiors at TDA, I may not be able to go to the game, probably not going to go. So in my mind, I wasn't going to go to the game. However, when you least expect something, divine intervention steps in. And my childhood church, we have this Jesus celebration every year, this Christmas party. And this particular year, we had the youth giveaway and the adult giveaway. And the adult giveaway prize was $1,500. So I'm sitting here, praying to God, just telling, Jesus, hey, man, I've been a great person this year. I gave to the Hannah Home. I donated to the Salvation Army. I did some groundbreaking things in my life this year. So maybe I can go to this football game. So I'm sitting here thinking, maybe I go, maybe I don't get a chance to go. I didn't have the money at the time. But somehow my name at the very end gets pulled out of the basket, and I remember the pastor's wife sat there and said, y'all won't believe this, but the winner of the Jesus giveaway is Stephen Smith. And I have never been timed doing a 40-yard dash since my 10th grade year running track. I ran out the church, ran around the block 2 times, ran back inside the church, couldn't believe I had won the money, couldn't sit down because I was so excited. Sat there, was able to call my superiors at TDA, tell everybody, hey, get the credential ready. I will be able to cover this game, and was able to book my plane ticket, get on the plane, fly from Birmingham to Houston, Texas. Of course, I stayed overnight at an airport in Houston, then go from Houston to Arizona, and the game itself, just tremendous, big time. Enjoyed the atmosphere, got a chance to cover the practices leading up to the game, went to a few media party events, and then for the game itself, sitting inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, and watching Jacob Coker have a huge performance, watching O.J. Howard turn loose, watching Derrick Henry have a massive outing, and then Kenyon Drake, everything that Drake went through his entire career, from the broken leg as a junior in 2014 to the shoulder injury to losing his best friend, Altie Tenpenny, in that one-man car crash, to him catching this, fielding the kickoff, and going 95 yards to the house, and hearing the call from Chris Fowler, Kenyon Drake can fly! He'll lose the kicker and will not be caught! Touchdown, Drake! Just being in that stadium and seeing Kenyon Drake score right in front of me. One of the best moments of my life, man. I will cherish that. And then after winning that football game, getting the chance to walk down the elevator, I saw one of my good friends, Cole Thompson, of whom we both went to school together, both went to the University of Alabama together. And I remember Cole, he sits there, he stares at me and goes, Steven, did we just win the most incredible national championship game known to mankind? I said, yes, Cole, we did. Cole goes, hug me, dude, hug me. So I'm sitting here hugging this man for about 5 minutes. After we get off the elevator, I'm sitting hugging this man for 5 minutes in the hallway. Just that 2016 national title game off the 15 season, a very, very special one for me, and I will enjoy that one forever, going from not being able to attend the game to actually attending the game and having fun in that matchup. But we're going to go to a couple of comments here in the YouTube chat line. Your favorite game, favorite live game that you got a chance to watch as a Crimson Tide fan. Going to some of these right now here. And first one we got here comes from Mikhail Negron. Mikhail Negron writes in, the 2015 game against the LSU, that was the one where Derrick Henry ran wild and took the Heisman away from Leonard Fournette. Also, Negron writes in the 1996 Iron Bowl. So 2015 game against LSU and the 1996 Iron Bowl. Let's see here. Devarius Trendsetter writes in, Devarius Trendsetter, I think the best was against Notre Dame because we bullied them. Notre Dame, that would be the 2013 national championship game off the 12th season, and Alabama did bully the Fighting Irish 42-14, bullied them so bad that the only piece of friction from that game was A.J. McCarron fighting his own teammate, that being Barrett Jones. We go down to Willie 351, who writes in, The 2007 game against Arkansas was his best moment. Alabama's win over Arkansas in the 2007 matchup. But we're going to take our next break here. We're going to go to our first break, on In My Own Words, the podcast. Continue to chime in your thoughts on the best game that you were at live in terms of Alabama football. But upon our return, we sit down with my man Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA, to talk the 2021 cycle right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Make sure to subscribe before it's too late and get our new freshly printed end of the year magazine issue. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in the Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.